Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We did beer stuff. We do it here. Other half. Other half cream of broccoli. Let's do it that way. It looks better for y'all. Yeah, broccoli. I've done a couple of their reviews. I didn't like a HDHC, their hop depth charge thing. It's been a couple of years since I've done that one. I did a collab. I'm not quite sure who that was through. And I did the base broccoli actually not too long ago. I think it was this year, earlier in like springtime or something like that. And I saw this on the shelf. Listen, other half. Not only do I think they do great hazies, I think they do lactose-based hazies, which this has to have in it. I mean, it's this cream. It'll probably say it on a can. I don't know how this differentiates between the Daydream, because I think the Daydream denotes lactose, but this is cream. Anyway, you know, as far as price, availability, the whole nine, they're kind of like kings of the mountain right now, at least in my location. Over here in the northeastern United States, this is a shelfie, can be had, $20. But it's also, you know, that's kind of what it costs the brewer. You're not paying an overcharge. Let's get to it. Cream broccoli, double dry hopped Imperial oat cream India Pale Ale. This was canned 11/28. Today's date is the 20th of January. And as far as what they have here is Cascade Hallertau Blanc Mosaic Simcoe Oats and Milk Sugar. So it does contain lactose. 7.9%. Hazie Imperial Oat Cream IPA brewed with a hand-selected blend of hops, giving notes of candied mango, pineapple, white wine. Really? And grapefruit. White wine. NFL playoffs. Watching it right above here. So if my eyes wander vertically, I'm not stroking you out or anything like that. I'm just looking up, see what's going on. Label-wise, it's what Other Half does, and they're some of the best in the game when it comes to labels. They're a bit redundant. They kind of do the same thing over and over again, but that's kind of what they want to do, so it's not like they're not trying to do that. So, yeah, I dig their cans, let's put it that way. Beer-wise, I mean, it looks to all the part of a big old hazy. And what you'd like it to look like. I mean, a little bit of an orange core, mostly that kind of slightly kind of whited out kind of edges to it. Pinky finger, barely off-white, creamy, fluffy head to it. All the parts of a big Imperial oated, lactose-y hazy. Let's get those. That smells awesome. I mean, it's exactly what you want this beer to smell. Rewind. It's exactly what I want this beer to smell like. Not you. You do your own thing. I'm talking about me. Because it's giving me all the things that I really do enjoy and like when it comes to hazy IPA. And more specifically lactose dose stuff, and that I'm getting a nice sweetness from it, but it's not too heavy-handed. That lactose dose oats around the edges, so you're not getting a sharp sweetness from it, and you're just getting gobs and gobs of hop here. Am I getting white wine? No. I don't think I ever got white wine from beer in my life. I think leather is one of those things too. People are like, it's just leather. No, it's not, please. You want to talk about white grape? Sure, but white wine, Anyway, let's not get stuck in that. But it just has this, just over the top, just fruit on fruit, tropical fruit over here. White grape, if you want to go there, we can go there. But just a big citrus vibes and just rich kind of fruit medley. But on the other side of things, you're getting this kind of pretty danky-ranky kind of green kind of thing floating around that probably would show up a bit more aggressive, a bit more kind of like West Coasty, or even a little bit more kind of like oniony, scalliony. But since you do have those oats, since you do have that milk sugar kind of tempering everything, it just kind of, it almost like lactose and oats almost act as like a really stern, like, preschool teacher that keeps all these little crazy ragamuffin-y kids from going off the rails and just taking over the school, like Fahrenheit 5. What's that movie where they sold on precinct 16 or 13 or whatever? I'm tangenting like crazy right now, but it just it reins everything in and keeps everything in check that otherwise would be over the top crazy. And I think that's what makes these beers quite fun, makes these beers quite lovable, because their hecticness, their aggressiveness, they are hair on fire in a glass. And that's kind of what's going on here. So I'm really curious to see how the taste kind of jumps out. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you're getting in taste. There's so much going on here. It is very, very, very aggressive. You know, it has this green portion that really wants to be like blow your doors off, ranky dank, mean mug and rank. And it is that. But, and there's tropical fruit, won't get off to the fruit portion of the show. But since the beer is a double IPA, it's sweet, inherently sweet, but a lot of that sweetness is the oats and the milk sugar. Not heavy-handed, it's not over the top, it's not like crazy milkshake level. But since it's that, it tempers everything. It's that unruly, that teacher that tempers and settles down those unruly kids. It's just letting it be a little bit more kind of, not reserved, but not letting it go ape shit over the top. And it's just that fight back and forth between that big boldness, wanting to unleash itself, and then having those that lactose and that soft sweetness kind of keep everything in check. It makes for like a really kind of horror movie roller coaster-ish kind of vibe of a beer. Mouthfeel is quite nice. I'm not going to sit here and say it's super fluffy or creamy, but it's not going to be confused with being thin. The fruit portion of the show is very tropical leaning. I mean, you do get pineapple, you do get citrus, you do get stone fruit, but it really is this kind of like mango kind of guava-y thing going on here. But again, since a lot of the sweetness here, that perception of sweetness that you're attaching to the fruit, because you're not getting sweetness, the fruit isn't bringing the sweetness here, it's the hops doing that. But since the sweetness is lactose, and again, those oats that are soft and rounded, it just gives you a little bit more of a kind of softer vibe to the way the fruits kind of show off. This is really fun stuff. It's really good beer. Honestly, really good beer. Showing really, really well. Don't mind it. Don't mind if I do. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best hazy lactose I've ever had. Well, some have done me better, but it's worthy of Mount Rushmore status, especially if we go by as of late. This is really good beer. And when you talk about the price point being off the shelf, again, price point is high, but off the shelf the same price at the brewery. It's relatively fresh, easy to get. That's where other half's beers kind of really do take off now. Is that for me, at least, where I live in northern New Jersey, they're readily available. Get them whenever I want, and they're consistently really, really good. There's a lot of breweries that are readily available that used to not be by me, that are really, really not all that good. Really are not all that good. Other half, I would say, has stayed equal, if not gotten better, with their consistency across pretty much all their beers in the throes of COVID, going into wide distribution, or at least wider distribution. And I think that's something to be championed. I think that's something to be applauded, because a lot of breweries go the exact opposite direction. They've done it right in a very, very fun way. Yeah. I dig it. I dig it. I like it. Exactly what I wanted right now. I don't know what else to say. The oats and the cream, we'll recap real quick. Oats and the cream are not over the top, but ever present. While at the same time tempering this big ranky-dank greenness that, if wasn't there, would kind of be the starting show of the beer. But since there's lactose and oats kind of rein everything in, it becomes a little bit more of an equal showing, and ends up being a very, very fun, really well done lactose-based IPA that I would buy again. Mount Rushmore status as of late, yes. All time, on the outside looking in, but very tasty. Valued availability, 20, 21 bucks off shelf. Tis what it is. Leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like lactose hazy IPAs that aren't milkshake beers, and you like well-made haze, you'll like this. You have to. If you don't, you got a bunk can or you're weird. Anyway, I just said bunk. I don't remember the last time I said that word. Yeah, other half. Have you been to the brewery or any of the 4,763,000 breweries? Have you had their beers? Have you had this beer? Have you had it when it originally came out? Have you had it lately? What are your thoughts? All that fun stuff down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of goodness right now. Hope we'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.